Hello and welcome to TCM, everybody. I'm Ben Mankiewicz. Tonight our subject is Warren Oates, a character actor uniquely skilled at conveying a degree of relaxed menace. Up next, Oates plays a gangster with whom he shared an unusually strong natural resemblance. From American International Pictures in 1973, it's Dillinger. John Dillinger robbed banks across the Midwest in the early 1930s, and he managed to be seen by some as something of a Robin Hood figure. His exploits were featured in newspapers and newsreels, making him as famous as a movie star, a pro athlete, or a cable television host. Hi, I'm Ben Mankiewicz. How you doing? In telling Dillinger's story, writer-director John Milius introduces us to Dillinger's girlfriend, played by singer-songwriter and actress Michelle Phillips, gangster babyface Nelson, played by a babyface Richard Dreyfuss, and federal agent Melvin Purvis, played by a member of John Ford's stock company, Ben Johnson. Purvis is pursuing criminals on the FBI's most wanted list. He lights a cigar before every showdown, and he ends up lighting quite a few cigars during the course of the movie, so if you're a fan of gunfights with exploding blood packs, you have tuned into the right place. Writer-director John Milius is almost as much of a character as Dillinger himself. In the 1970s, Milius wrote the screenplays for some notable movies, including The Life and Times of Judge Roy Bean and Apocalypse Now. According to one story, Milius demanded a rare rifle as part of his payment for script work he did on Dirty Harry. He also wrote the first draft, which Steven Spielberg described as brilliant, of Robert Shaw's famous USS Indianapolis speech in Jaws. Milius was also the inspiration for John Goodman's character in The Big Lebowski. Dillinger was the first feature film he directed. He'd go on to direct The Wind and the Lion, Red Dawn, and Conan the Barbarian. From 1973, also starring Harry Dean Stanton and in a small role Cloris Leachman, here's Warren Oates in the TCM premiere of Dillinger. Dillinger had some similarities to other gangster films like Bonnie and Clyde. There's also a nod to The Wild Bunch, where Warren Oates and Ben Johnson played brothers. They played adversaries in Dillinger. Former FBI agent Clarence Hunt, who was involved in the final shootout with Dillinger, was the film's technical advisor. The original plan was for FBI Director J. Edgar Hoover to read the film's final message, but Hoover died before the movie's released, and instead, the words were read by actor and voice artist Paul Frees. Dillinger's writer and director John Milius was so interested in the character of federal agent Melvin Purvis that he wrote another script about him, shot as a TV movie in 1974 with Dale Robertson as Purvis. Up next, this week's visit to the TCM Underground brings us to a short documentary about the countercultural movement of the 1960s, narrated by Robert Mitchum.